The Fast and the Furious opens with a big truck cruising at night, and some mystery cars pull up like, "Hello, sir! We'd like to borrow your entire livelihood." Cut to Los Angeles, where the police are stressed. The trucks are angry. An undercover cop, Brian O'Connor, shows up, pretending he's just a guy who loves cars, and absolutely not paperwork. Brian walks into a car parts shop and immediately meets the local crew, who can smell new guy energy, like sharks smell fear. Then Brian meets Dominic, the human embodiment of family, barbecue, and I could bench press your problems. At night, Brian goes to an illegal street race where everyone yells, "Engines, scream," and the laws of physics file a complaint. Brian races Dom and loses because Dom drives like he's personally offended by slow speed. Brian's car gets wrecked. Dom saves him from the cops anyway, because in this universe, family includes random people you met yesterday. Dom invites Brian to a backyard barbecue, which is basically an interview, except the questions are unspoken, and everyone is judging your soul. Brian meets Mia, and the movie immediately switches to rom-com vibes, except everyone still talks like they might race you later. Meanwhile, Letty Ortiz exists to prove one thing. The coolest person in the room is always the one who looks like she could fix your car and your attitude. Brian starts snooping around the crew because he's a cop, and cops in movies have two settings: suspicious and more suspicious. Dom's crew, plans, jobs, and the vibe is less Ocean's 11 and more. We have vibes and a wrench. Then we meet Jesse, the tech kid of the group, who treats computers like magic and consequences like rumors. Dom's rival, Johnny Trent, shows up with his crew, radiating, "I'm angry, stylish, and definitely here to cause plot." Brian and Dom bond over engines and trust issues, which is basically friendship in an action movie. The crew hits the highway again for another job, and the trucks are like, "Not this again." Spiritually, it goes wrong. Someone gets hurt, and suddenly the fun car hobby has the emotional tone of a hospital bill. Brian realizes Dom might be the truck crew, and also realizes he likes Dom, which is the worst possible development for his job. Brian confesses to Mia that he's a cop, and Mia's face says, "Sir, this is a family barbecue, not an emotional hostage situation." Then Jesse loses a race and runs off, which in this movie is basically the same as writing "Please cause tragedy" on a forehead. Jesse gets killed off screen vibe-wise, and Dom's crew goes from family dinner to family vengeance in 1 second. Dom and Brian chase Johnny Tran because nothing heals grief like high-speed problem solving. The chase ends with a crash and chaos, and the movie politely reminds us that winning is usually messy. Brian lets Dom go, hands him the keys, and basically says, "I'm a cop, but also, I get it," which is peak action movie friendship. Dom drives off into the night, and Brian just stands there like, "Well, that was my entire career choice in one evening.